Listen, man, life ain't handing out breaks. If you're sitting there crying about how you can't catch a break, I've got news for you. You don't get breaks in life, you make them. No one's coming to save you. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and start moving. Life's a test. It's always been a test. But here's the thing, your test ain't my test. And my test ain't yours. But we've all got one thing in common. How the fuck we face it defines everything. It's not about the cards you're dealt. It's about how hard you fight with the hand you've got. Here's the mindset you need to tattoo on your soul. No matter what's in your way, you grind. You grind when you're tired. You grind when you're fucking failing. You grind when you don't even want to move. You think I'm out here because I want to be. Nah, man. I hate half the yes I do. I fail at most of it. But guess what? I still grind. If you see me out there running my ass off in the middle of the night, know this. I'm outworking every excuse, every weakness, every fucking fear I've ever had. While you're sleeping, I'm building a savage. It's 3 a.m., not a car or a soul in sight. While the world is snuggled up in their little comfort zones, dreading the grind of another Monday, I'm out here loving it. Why? Because this is where strength is made, in the darkness, in the silence, in the damn grind. This isn't about the running, the lifting, the push-ups, or whatever the fuck exercise you think matters. It's about what those things build inside you. You don't get better watching Netflix on your couch. You get better by getting the fuck up and doing the work. Every damn day, you want to talk about my eyes, my fucking demons. Good. Keep looking. Because what you're seeing isn't what you think it is. It's not misery, and it's not some broken soul. What you're seeing is focused discipline and a motherfucker who's gone to war with himself and refuses to quit. People keep asking, why isn't he happy? Why doesn't he smile? Why doesn't he crack a joke? Because I'm not here to play your fucking game. I'm not here to fake it. I'm not happy because I'm not done yet. I'm not fulfilled because there's more in me, and I won't stop digging until I've unearthed every last bit of that treasure buried inside me. You think I'm judging you? Nah, man, I don't judge anyone, but don't get it twisted. I know what it feels like to be judged. I've been judged my whole fucking life. My eyes, my face, the way I carry myself, people think they've got me figured out. They don't know shit. Here's what they don't get. It's easy to be happy when life's good. Anyone can smile when the sun's shining, when everything's falling into place. That's not the hard part. The hard part is when life kicks you in the fucking teeth. When the world's on your back and you feel like there's no way out. That's when the real work begins. That's what I train for. Most people don't want to talk about that. They want to skip the pain, the suffering, the sleepless nights, and the doubt. They want to wrap that shit in a blanket and pretend it doesn't exist. Not me. I say, bring it on. You don't find peace by avoiding the battle. You find peace by going straight through the fucking war. I've been to hell and I came back stronger. You think I got there by smiling my way through life? Nah, man, I got there by stepping into the fire and burning away everything weak inside me. That's the only way you grow. That's what I'm trying to teach you. I'm taking you with me to the darkest corners, the hardest times, to the places where I was broken, beaten, and left for dead. I'll show you where I came from because that's where I built the fucking savage I am today. I lived on Paradise Road, and let me tell you, it was anything but paradise. But that's where I learned to fight. We're all jacked up in some way, every single one of us. But that's the beauty of it. The scars of pain, the shit you've been through, that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you powerful. And the way you fight your way out. That's your story. Don't try to follow my path because it's not your path. You'll find yours and it'll be just as hard, maybe harder. But the one thing we'll both do is keep moving. We'll keep grinding, keep digging, keep finding strength we didn't even know we had. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to fucking hurt. That's how you grow. That's how you win. Here's the thing, man. For years, I wasted my life trying to be what other people wanted me to be. I bent over backward to get people to like me, to accept me. If you like something, I pretend I liked it too. I wasn't me. I was a fucking reflection of everyone else. But let me tell you something. That shit is weak. If you want to live your life for other people, go ahead and keep being fake. But if you want to own your life, you need to get unapologetic about who the fuck you are. Stop trying to fit in and start getting after it. When you commit to being your real, raw fucking self, people are going to look at you sideways. They're not going to understand you. They'll think you're broken or weird or that something's wrong with you. Fuck them. You weren't put on this earth to fit into someone else's tiny ass box. You got to make yourself better than the version of you in the mirror today. That's the mission. And guess what? That requires pain. It requires pushing past every weakness, every excuse, and every fucking doubt you've ever had. I remember one time during an ultra marathon, mile 70, I was sitting in this busted ass blue lawn chair watching runners pass me. My body was destroyed. Dizzy, dehydrated, pissing brown, seeing triple, feeling like I was about to die. Those Ritz crackers I was choking down felt like sawdust in my throat. I was done, or at least I thought I was. But here's the thing. Your body will quit long before your mind does. That's the difference between a champion and just some good motherfucker. When S gets hard, the average guy says, I hope I can get through this. But the champion digs deep and says, I will get through this. That's the fucking mentality you need. And it's not going to come from comfort. It's going to come from pushing your limits, failing, hurting, and then getting the fuck back up to do it again. Here's another one for you. I'm out running one day and this dude drives by yelling, I hate your black ass. He thought he was going to ruin my day. But guess what? He stopped at a red light and I caught up to his Thanksgiving dinner eating oversized ass. I looked him dead in the eye and said, ask your mama who your real daddy is. You see, people are always going to have opinions. They're going to hate. They're going to judge. But guess what? Their opinions don't mean shit. What matters is how you show up, how you fight, how you push past every obstacle in front of you. Got an email the other day from a guy saying, man, I'm struggling to get up early, hit the gym, and start grinding. I told him, you're not special, motherfucker. I've been there. When I was 24, I was the same damn way. I kept looking for some big answer, some secret to unlock motivation. Guess what I found? I was just being a bitch. Man, bitch isn't about gender. It's a mindset. It means weak, soft, full of excuses and feeling sorry for yourself. That's what I told him. You don't need a miracle. You need to get the fuck up, lace those shoes, and go to war with yourself. This morning, I woke up with that same weak-ass poopy pants mindset. I've been traveling, worn out, beat down. And yeah, I believe in recovery. I'm not some psycho saying never take a rest day. But here's the truth. Most of us take rest days not because we need them, but because we're fucking soft. That I deserve it or I've earned it mentality is straight up bullshit. This morning, my self-talk was trash. That weak voice inside me was screaming, take the day off, Goggins. You've done enough. You know that voice. We all have it. It's the one that tells you to stay comfortable, to back off, to give up. But here's the key. You got to build the other voice. The one that says, fuck that, let's go. If it's not your designated day off, you don't fucking take it off. I don't care if it's running, lifting, swimming, or studying. Build the voice that fights back against the excuses. That voice doesn't come easy. It's forged in the fire doing the S you don't want to do. And don't come at me with you don't understand my life, Goggins. Motherfucker, I do. I've been in that same mindset thinking no one gets what I'm going through. Guess what? Millions of people are out here going through the same shit. The only difference is some of us stop hiding behind excuses and actually face it. Back when I played sports, we had this drill I hated. Coach had us running in place, blowing that damn whistle. Drop, get up, run. Over and over. No control, no end in sight. It was pure misery. That's life, man. Most of us don't have the whistle. We don't control when the pain stops. But you always control how fast you get back up. Some of you stay down. Champions don't. Champions pop the fuck back up every single time. And here's another thing. I get people saying, I'm working hard, but I don't see results. You know what your problem is? You're poisoned by social media. You're staring at fitness models with their fake perfect lives, their sculpted bodies, and comparing yourself to that shit. Then you bust your ass for a few weeks, don't look like them, and quit. And stop comparing yourself to anyone but yourself. Take a snapshot of where you started. Take another of where you are now. That's how you measure progress, not by someone else's filtered fake-ass highlight reel. You want results, earn them. You want change, fight for it. You can talk to your shrink, you can call your best friend. But at the end of the day, you're alone in your own head, and your brain is out to fucking own you. If you can't take control of it, it will take control of you. If you can't master your mind, you're fucked, period. You have to tell your brain what to do, where to go, and how the fuck you're going to get there. That's why I go dark. I put the phone away, turn off the noise, and get in my own head. Why? Because this world is getting faster, louder, and more full of bullshit every single day. And if you're not careful, you'll lose touch with who the fuck you are. I don't just survive in misery, I thrive in it. When everyone else is crying, feeling sorry for themselves and giving up, that's when I shine. That's when I dig deeper than anyone thought possible. And guess what? That's where the power is. I once ran 70 miles in an ultramarathon. By mile 70, my body was done. I thought I'd hit 100%. I was cramping, dizzy, pissing blood. I was fucked. But I kept going. 31 more miles. In the worst shape of my life, I found something I didn't even know was there. I finished that race, sat in a tub of cold water, my body screaming in pain. And it was the most beautiful moment of my life. You know why? Because I felt it. I didn't numb it. I didn't run from it. I owned it. Man, in that pain, that suffering, that misery, it's where you'll find who you really are. Most people will never go there, but if you do, you'll unlock a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. For me, training isn't just something I do. It's how I build my armor. That armor protects me from all the shit life throws my way. It's how I got my self-esteem back. And once I found that door started opening, not because the world changed, but because I changed. When I started training, it wasn't about getting bigger or stronger. It was about building my mind. I needed to callous over that weak-ass victim mentality I'd been dragging around my whole damn life. Every workout, every early morning, every uncomfortable thing I forced myself to do, it wasn't just physical. It was mental warfare. I stopped giving a damn about what people thought. Oh no, what if they judge me? What if they make fun of me for starting now? Who gives a fuck? The moment I stopped caring about that garbage, my life started to shift slowly but surely. Here's the thing. When I looked at people doing hard shit, waking up at 4 a.m., crushing workouts, grinding day after day, it looked brutal. It looked miserable. And you know what I thought? That's exactly what I need to do. Not because I wanted to look jacked or impress anyone, but because I needed to build myself. That kind of misery. That's where the growth happens. I had to learn to flip being alone into something powerful. No coach, no trainer, no mentor. Just me in the fucking sewer of my own mind. That's where I built what I call the sewer mentality. What is it? It's the mindset of someone who can claw their way out of the darkest, nastiest place imaginable, all on their own. When you've got a sewer mentality, you don't stop. Round 14, blood in your eyes, legs gone, ribs cracked, you get the fuck up. That's the kind of mindset you need to build, and it only happens when you stop running from loneliness and start using it. I thought to myself, if I can survive this sewer, this place in my mind where all the pain, doubt, and fear live and come out on the other side, I'll be unstoppable. So I made a long ass list of all the things I didn't want to do. Waking up early, running in the freezing cold, grinding. When I felt like shit, I did it all. And every time I crossed one of those things off that list, I found a piece of myself I didn't know existed. That's how you gain strength. That's how you stop being average. Even today, I still hate running. I fucking hate it. But I do it. You know why? Because it's not about what I like. It's about what builds me. Running at 5 a.m. on some golf course while the rest of the world is asleep. That's how I separate myself. That's how I realize I'm not like everyone else. When I see the average person, I know I've got something they don't have. You can have it too, but only if you're willing to go to that dark place to claw your way out of the sewer and to build that armor one miserable, brutal rep at a time. Man, I don't need a lot of people in my life, and I sure as hell don't want them. My circle, it's small as fuck. It's been my mom, and now it's my fiance. That's it. The more people you let in, the noisier your life gets. More people means more distractions, more drama, more bullshit. Growth. That doesn't come from the chaos, it comes from the silence. It comes from sitting alone with yourself, organizing the chaos in your mind. You can't do that if you've got a bunch of people chirping in your ear. That's why I keep my circle tight. The people in my circle know exactly what they're getting from me, and I know what I'm getting from them. There's no guessing, no bullshit. It keeps me focused, always moving forward, never stagnant. My work ethic. Man, that didn't come from luck or some magical fucking motivation. I built it through struggle, through working out, grinding, and doing the shit nobody else wants to do. I struggled my whole damn life, and for years I ran from it. I didn't want to face it. But then I realized if I keep running, I'm never going to fucking grow. So I stopped running and I started facing that struggle head on. I didn't start training for trophies or applause. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I started training because I needed to go the distance. I needed to become mentally strong enough to handle whatever life threw at me. You want to know the secret? It's not talent or luck or anything fancy. It's repetition. Tons of it. Doing the same shit you don't want to do over and over again. That's how you build mental armor. Your mind starts to learn, okay, this is what we do. We suffer. We grind. We don't quit. Then when the real hard shit hits, you're already ready for it. That's how I came up. I forced myself to live uncomfortably day after day. And now, that discomfort is just my way of life. I don't just tolerate it. I fucking thrive on it. This is what I want to do. But here's the thing no one tells you. Trying to find your best self will make you unbalanced. People love to talk about balance. You hear it everywhere. Oh, you got to find balance. Let me tell you something. Balance is bullshit. For most people, balance is just an excuse to stay mediocre. If you're trying to be the best version of yourself, there's no such thing as balance. You're all in or you're not. I had to learn everything the hard way. Nothing came easy for me. And yeah, I talk a lot about the physical shit. Running, swimming, pull-ups, powerlifting. But let me tell you some of the hardest things I've ever done. Just fucking learning. For me, if it takes someone an hour to learn something, it might take me 10. And that's frustrating as hell. But that's self-discipline I built from waking up at 3 a.m. running in the cold lifting weights. That shit carried over into everything else. Every time I overcame myself physically, I got stronger mentally. And that mental strength, it prepares you for the next part of your journey. I don't let myself sit in my own shit for too long. I give myself a few minutes max, and then I tell myself, man, the fuck up. What's next? Let's go. Because life doesn't stop. Your running career might be over. Your glory days might be behind you, but that doesn't mean you're done. There's always something out there. This is a trained skill, and it's one most people don't have because they're soft as fuck. A lot of people get stuck in some dumbass loop. They're like, oh no, Jennifer can't go for a run today because something's wrong. Simple shit like that ruins their whole fucking day. You know what I say to that? This is life. Shit happens. Get over it. Move the fuck on. People love to ask me, David, what are you going to do if you can't run anymore? You know what? I'll find something else. Running isn't my whole damn life. I've trained myself to understand that life can take anything from you at any moment. You've got to be ready for the next chapter. That's why I started doing what I call front loading. Look, when I was younger, I was a little piece of shit. I sit around telling myself all kinds of lies. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know what that is? That's weakness. That's the easy voice in your head trying to keep you down. But one day I got tired of my own bullshit. I pulled my hand out of my ass and realized something. If you just start moving, you can achieve a fucking lot. When I started motivating myself, becoming my own damn hero, I learned how to front load my life. People come up to me all the time like, damn, David, you've done so much by the time you're 47. You're damn right I have. Because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. My military resume is fat as fuck. I've done the hardest races in the world. I've broken records. I've made money. I've accomplished more shit than most people dream of. And you know why? Because I know that bad times are always coming, and when they do, I've already put in the work. It's not just about preparing for bad times though. Busting your ass now means you get to enjoy life more. People want to take it easy because you never know how much time you have. That's bullshit. What if you live to be old? What then? What if you wasted your whole damn life? Sitting around making excuses and doing nothing when you had the chance. That's why I front load. I put in the work while I'm able. I grind when I can get up early. I hustle when my body can handle it. If you front load properly, the back half of your life is fucking gold. That's how I live. That's how I've done it. Where it gets fucking hard, that's the point where most people tap out. The harder it gets, the more you start building excuses, the more you push back against the truth. And let's be real, nobody wants to talk about the shit that actually matters. It's not politically correct to call it out, but I don't give a damn. You're fat. I was fat too. So I'm not judging, I'm fucking relating. I know exactly what it feels like to roll your fat ass out of bed, craving those damn cinnamon rolls and that chocolate milkshake. I've been there, I've lived that. But here's the thing, I can't want this shit more than you want it for yourself. Too many people want the easy way out. Newsflash, it doesn't fucking exist. So what do? They build this bullshit narrative, a comfortable lie that says it's okay. But you know what? It's not fucking okay. You don't need someone to pat you on the back and say it's fine, stay where you are. You need someone to say, get your ass up and do the fucking work. Discipline your mind, work harder. That's the only way out. Here's the harsh truth. If you're not willing to help yourself, that's not okay. It's unacceptable. Sure, it's your life, but if mediocrity is acceptable to you, then you've already lost. You've got one life, one fucking shot, and you're just going to coast through it. Not me. Not ever. I didn't accept that shit when I was at my lowest, and neither should you. Look, man, I was 300 pounds hiding behind my big ass body. That wasn't strength. That was fear wrapped in fat. I built that body to protect myself, to shield my weak, insecure, scared to death self from the world. I wasn't jacked because I loved the grind. I was jacked because I was running from my own fucking demons. That big dude was my armor, my defense against anyone who might see how soft I really was. But guess what? That shit's weak. Pretending to be hard while you're crumbling inside is weak as hell. I knew I couldn't keep living like that. So I wrote out a new script. I created a world so fucking uncomfortable for myself that I had no choice but to grow. And in that misery, in that grind, I found a version of myself I didn't even know existed. The problem isn't just you, it's all the noise. Everyone's got an opinion telling you who to be, what to do, how to live. Fuck that, cut the strings. Stop letting other people puppet master your life. You've got to stop giving a damn about what people think, stop worrying about being judged. The moment you let that shit go is the moment your life starts to change. When you finally face your demons, when you stare that scary ass list in the face and say, bring it, that's when you find out who the fuck you really are. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort keeps you weak. Dive into the pain, the struggle, the fear. That's where your power lives. So I'm asking you, what do you want? Do you even know? Or are you too lost in the bullshit coming at you from every direction? Spend time with yourself, get to know your own darkness. It's not pretty, but it's fucking necessary. You think I'm special. Nah, man, I'm not special. I'm just a guy who figured out how to unfuck his life. My process isn't your process, but the principles are the same. Discipline, hard work, and refusing to settle. I never blamed God for any of the shit he put me through. Not once. I knew it was on me. So I made a fucking decision. I wanted to become the hardest motherfucker ever created. Am I that? Hell, I don't know, and I don't give a damn. But I had a goal. When I was sitting there, no school, getting bullied, no self-esteem, feeling like shit, the only thing I knew was that no one was coming to save me. The only person who could turn my sorry ass life around was me. And the only way to do it wasn't by hoping, wishing, or praying. It was by putting myself through hell. I had to walk into the fire and let it burn. I had to endure the worst shit a human could go through to build a mind strong enough to handle anything. Callous my brain through pain and suffering. That was the mission. Mental toughness isn't a weekend hobby, it's a fucking lifestyle. It's built every single day. You don't hit the snooze button in the morning. You don't lay in that warm bed like some soft ass bitch. You get your ass up. You don't want to run. You fucking run. You don't want to swim. Get in the damn water. You don't feel like making your bed. Tough shit, make it. You don't want to study. Crack open that book. It's not about how you feel. It's about what needs to get done. That's how you start callousing your mind, by doing the shit you don't want to do. Over and over and over again. It's going to suck. It's going to hurt. You'll hate every second of it. But guess what? That's where the growth happens. You don't grow in comfort. You don't become a badass by doing easy shit. The only way to grow is to suffer. Period. Some people get it and some don't. That's life. But if you want to figure your shit out, you've got to start your journey. Look around. There are people who live to be 100 years old and never even scratch the surface of their potential because they're too scared to suffer. Let me tell you something. Motivation is a load of crap. It's weak. It comes and goes like the fucking wind. You can't rely on that. When life hits you, when it knocks you flat on your ass, no one's going to show up and say, hey, you're going to be okay. No one's coming to save your ass. You're not okay. Not unless you make yourself okay. When life gets brutal, and trust me, it will, you're going to panic. You're going to forget who the fuck you are. That's when the truth slaps you in the face. You're alone. No one's coming down into that dark, nasty sewer to pull you out. It's just you and your thoughts surrounded by the rats of self-doubt, fear, and weakness. That dark-ass room, man, you sit there and it's just you, the truth, and no fucking way out. You look back at where you started and it's like, damn, my mom's fucked up. My stepdad got murdered. I couldn't read or write to save my own sorry ass. I lied about it to everybody. Cheated on every damn test. My whole life was one big lie. And then it hits you. What the fuck are you going to do about it? You sit there with all your bullshit laid out in front of you and you set a goal. How are you going to feel when you hit that goal coming from this hellhole, dragging all this shit behind you? How's that going to feel knowing you climbed out of the mud, out of the dark, and did something nobody thought you could do? A lot of people out there start with a head start. They've got a foundation, they've got tools, they've got support. But what if you don't? What if you're down so low you don't even have legs to stand on? You've got to grow your legs. You've got to crawl before you can walk. Walk before you can run. Run before you can pass every single person who had the shit handed to them. That's power. I had to take all that negative, painful, weak-ass shit and flip it on its head. I had to say, hold the fuck up. This isn't breaking me. This is fueling me. The darkness, that's my fuel. That's the fire that lights my soul. You've got to own that pain, own those scars, and wear them like fucking armor. Because those scars, they're proof. Proof that your journey is real. Proof that you survived. I'm proud of my childhood. Yeah, it was fucked up, but I'm proud of it. Because without that hell, without that chaos, I wouldn't be the man I am today. My childhood wasn't a curse, it was my training ground. Life was sharpening me, testing me, preparing me for the war ahead. And yeah, not everyone's going to understand that mentality. They don't get it because they've never been in the trenches. But there have to be others like me out there, other warriors. Other people who take all the shit life throws at them and turn it into a weapon. That's the mindset that changes everything. Here's the truth, man. Most people fail because they're too damn worried about what everyone else thinks. They're living someone else's narrative. But that's not me. And it doesn't have to be you. When you let go of that fear, when you stop giving a fuck about other people's opinions, that's when the real work starts. When I set out to break the pull-up record, 4,020 pull-ups, people lost their minds. How the hell are you going to do that? They asked. I didn't waste time explaining shit. I grabbed a pen and paper and started breaking it down. What are you doing? They asked. I'm doing the fucking math. 5 pull-ups a minute rest, this much go that hard for that long. Piece by piece, I worked out a plan. You have to be open to the possibility that you can do the impossible. Once your mind shuts down and says, I can't, you're done. You're fucking finished. But if you keep attacking, if you refuse to back down, that's when you start breaking the soul of whatever's in front of you. That's what I call taking souls. It's not just about winning. It's about breaking the thing that thought it could break you. Whether it's a person, an obstacle, or your own self-doubt, you keep attacking until it wants no part of you. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, can stand in front of something relentless. When I first walked my fat 297-pound ass into the idea of being a Navy SEAL, I called a recruiter. And you know what that dude said to me? You're not going to make it. That wasn't about me, man. That was about him. He was projecting his own weak-ass mindset on me. He didn't believe he could be a Navy SEAL. So how the hell was some fat black guy supposed to do it? That's the world we live in. People are scared to even try, so they push their fears and insecurities onto you. Most of the negativity in this world is people too scared to step into the arena. They'd rather sit on the sidelines and say, why are you so obsessed? Why are you going so hard? Just chill. That shit gets into your head. It feeds the quitting mind. The mind that's tired. The mind that says, I deserve to relax. I've done enough. That's the problem. It's not just you fucking with your head. It's other people pulling the strings. They're the puppet masters, and most of us don't even realize it. I've been there, man. Jealousy, anger, self-doubt. I fought all those demons. But here's the truth. None of that shit disappears until you face yourself. You've got to conquer you. Once you do, stop caring about the bullshit. The anger fades, the jealousy dies, and you realize, you know what? I'm fucking good. When your mind and body connect, when they're fully locked in, you can do anything. That hit me during one of the hardest moments of my life. 30 miles into a race and I was broken. I was in the worst pain I'd ever felt, damn near knocking on death's door. But I didn't quit. I broke it down into pieces, one step at a time, one decision at a time. First, I had to stand up. Then I had to walk. Then I had to run. My wife at the time told me, you're not going to make it. And as soon as I heard that, I said, watch this. I ran the last 19 miles nonstop. The mind is a beast, but only if you train it. It's not a muscle, but it acts like one. You stop working it. It gets soft. It atrophies. That's why I talk about callous in the mind. You've got to harden that shit. Just like calluses protect your hands, a callous mind protects you from the victim mentality, from the bullshit excuses, from the quitting voice. How do you callous your mind? You put yourself in hard, uncomfortable situations on purpose. Every time you take the easy way out, you're letting your mind stay soft. And that's the difference. My happiness comes from knowing I chose the path of most resistance every single day. People look at me and say, man, how'd you do it? I tell them talent not required. I didn't need to be the fastest, smartest, or strongest. I didn't drink. I didn't party. I stayed in my lane and did the hard shit nobody wanted to do. And you know what? I don't judge you for your lane. You want to be lazy, complain, or disrespect this country. Fine. I fought for your right to be a douchebag if that's what you want. But while you're doing that, I'm going to be out here putting in work, taking souls, and getting after it until the day I die. The mind is a savage beast, and most of us don't even realize it. I sure as hell didn't until I hit rock bottom. But let me tell you a story about when I really understood how much untapped potential we've got. So here I am thinking I'm tough because I've been through 3 hell weeks Ranger School and Delta Force selection. I'm sitting there one day and I Google hardest races in the world. Badwater 135 pops up. A race in Death Valley in the middle of the damn summer. 135 miles. I knew nothing about ultra running, but I said, fuck it, I'm in. Called up the race director all cocky and he shuts me down. You ever run 100 miles in 24 hours? I'm like, what do you mean? In a week. He laughs, no, in a day. If you can do that, I'll consider letting you in. He was calling my bluff. I called him back. The dude tells me about a 24-hour race in San Diego that weekend. You just run loops on a 1-mile track for 24 hours. If you get 100 miles, he says, I'm thinking, how hard can that be? 14-minute miles. I can do that in my sleep. Yeah, I was an idiot. So Saturday rolls around and I show up with a blue lawn chair, some Ritz crackers, and Myplex. That's my nutrition plan. I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Ignorance is bliss, right? I crushed the first 70 miles, hit it in about 12 or 13 hours. And then reality kicked my ass. Let me tell you what happens when you try to run 100 miles without training for it. Your body revolts. I sit down in that damn blue lawn chair, huge mistake. I'm seeing 3 or 4 versions of my ex-wife standing in front of me. My body's like, fuck this, we're done. Haven't gone to the bathroom the whole race and now everything is shutting down. I'm sitting there shitting up my back, pissing blood down my leg, and my ex-wife, who's a nurse, is losing her mind. Then she says the one thing no black man wants to hear. You're starting to turn white. I'm sitting there broken as hell thinking this is it. I've got 30 miles left and I'm done. But I didn't fucking quit. You know why? Because quitting wasn't an option for me. Not yet. Instead of throwing in the towel, I decided to study myself. I said, okay, I'm going to quit, but not right now. Let me hydrate, clean myself up, and see if I can take a step. I'll walk 1 more mile and then I'll call it a day. 71 miles is still impressive. But after that mile, I said, let me try 1 more. I kept chunking it down step by step, mile by mile. By the time I looked up, I realized if I pushed just a little harder, I could finish. This is when I discovered the 40% rule. Most people quit when they hit 40% of what they're capable of. Your brain's got a governor on it, just like a car. It tells you to slow down when you've got plenty left in the tank. That day I smashed through that limit. I calloused my mind and finished the damn race. That's the lesson, man. When you think you're done, when your body's screaming at you to stop, you're really only at 40%. You've got to push past the pain, past the excuses, and break through that mental wall. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you've got, but only if you're willing to fucking use it. Don't let the governor hold you back. You rip that shit out and see what you're really made of. I came into this world with limited horizons, born on the wrong damn side of the tracks. I didn't think I could be anybody, man. My governor wasn't society, wasn't my circumstances, it was me. But the second you rip that governor off, you realize those horizons you thought were set in stone. They're limitless. So here I am grinding and some dude passes me and says, Goggins, you're just average today. Man, most people would let that slide, but not me. Let me tell you something. Some of you out here have been stuck in average mode for so long, you've forgotten what it feels like to actually put in the hard fucking work. But then there's the rest of you, the ones who want more, who want to break out, but just don't know how to show up every damn day and hit the grind. Look, man, here's somebody out there right now who's fucking hungry. Someone who wants the shit you've got. Your job, your house, your wife, your life. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if it is, that person's coming for you. Let that fire you the fuck up. Don't sit around being comfortable. I want to be the guy who's built for this life, who can take the pain, the struggle, and the grind and still keep going. But here's the thing. If you weren't born that way, it doesn't matter. That kind of strength, that kind of mental toughness, it can be built. You just have to be willing to tear down every weak ass excuse you got, rebuild yourself from the ground up, and stop giving a fuck about anyone who tells you you're doing it wrong. I wasn't born this way. I was scared shitless of people not liking me. I got beat so bad as a kid that I created 50 different versions of myself just to get people to accept me. What do you like? Oh, me too. I was a chameleon man, a people pleaser. And that's how so many of us get lost, trying to be everything for everybody instead of figuring out who the hell we really are. Fast forward to today. I'm out on a long run trying to PR. First half of the run. I'm crushing it. Mind's clear. Breathing's on point. But then I hit mile 15, turn around, and boom, here come the fucking demons. That wall you always hear about. It's real. And it's coming for me. Legs start screaming. Dehydration kicks in. And the bullshit thoughts start creeping in. Why not stop? Call someone to pick you up. You've done enough. That's when you've got to shut that shit down. Get the fuck out of your own head. Not long ago, this guy stopped me at a light. Says, Goggins, I'm not getting better, man. I set goals. I do half Ironmans, half marathons. I go for promotions. Why am I still stuck? I looked him dead in the eye and said, do you fear failing at those goals? He said, no, that's your fucking problem. You're setting goals you know you can hit. There's no fear, no doubt, no insecurity. And that's where the growth is. Without it, you stay exactly where you are. You've got to set goals so big, so out of reach that they scare the shit out of you. That's where you get better. That's where you grow. So stop playing it safe. Rip the governor off. Get uncomfortable. You stay ready. People always ask me, Goggins, what are you training for? And my answer is always the same. I'm training for life. I don't wait for something to pop up. I don't wait for a challenge. I don't wait for an opportunity. I stay ready so when it's my time, I'm already in the fight. So when my boy Cam hits me up, says, yo, Goggins, I'm in Vegas. You want to run? You already know my answer. Hell yes, brother. Let's fucking go. And let me tell you, did that run suck? You bet your ass it did. But I was ready. We crushed the run, grabbed some steak after same grind, same day. That's just how it goes. Whenever me and Cam are together, it's a damn showdown. Two guys who respect each other but are quietly waiting for the other one to break. It's that unspoken game, like maybe this will break him. Maybe this time he'll quit. But here's the thing. We haven't broken each other yet. And honestly, I don't think we ever will. Because quitting, that's just not in my vocabulary. Look, I might not get it done the first time. Hell, I might not even get it done the second or third time. But that doesn't mean I quit. It means I regroup. I call an audible. I go back to the drawing board and study the problem until I figure that shit out. Quitting is leaving the fight, and I don't leave, ever. People always ask me, Goggins, how do you handle failure? Man, I fail all the damn time. You don't think I've been knocked on my ass. You don't think I've taken L's. Of course I have, but here's the difference. I don't see failure the way most people do. For me, failure is just another attempt. It's not the end. It's the fucking beginning. Every time I fail, it's one step closer to figuring out how to win. Man, not a lot of people are doing this shit I'm doing. That's not arrogance, that's fact. When you're trying to push beyond the limits of what most people even think is possible, you're going to fail. That's part of the process. The only true failure is not trying. Sitting on your ass, not even getting in the fight. That's failure. If you're paralyzed and your goal is to take one step and you don't make it today, you didn't fail, motherfucker. That was your first attempt. If you're trying to climb out of debt and you save $5 today, that's not failure. That's progress. This mindset, it applies to everything in life. We give too much power to the word failure. People let that shit crush them. Not me. I take the power right out of it. Oh, I failed. Fuck that. I learned. I grew. I'm still standing. And here's another thing. You've got to hold yourself and the people around you accountable. I'm not going to sit back and watch you self-destruct. If I see you gaining weight, skipping workouts, procrastinating, taking the easy road, I'm not just going to whisper to someone behind your back. I'm coming straight to you, brother. Hey, you're slipping. Let's fix this shit now. That's love, man. That's real. And you might not like it, but I'm not going to let you slide down a hole so deep you can't climb out of it. I'm not here to let you make excuses. I'm here to make you better. And if that hurts your feelings, good. And this world's gotten too soft. You can't say motherfucker anymore without someone losing their mind. Well, guess what? I still say it. I'll always say it. Don't like it, good. You don't have to like me. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm here to tell the truth. Life's fucking hard, man. And we're living in a world that's trying to convince you it's okay to take the easy way out bullshit. You're fat. I was fat too. Go ahead, call me out, I dare you. I know exactly how hard it is to roll your fat ass out of bed every morning and face yourself. I've been there, and you know what? I can't want it more than you. You got to want it for yourself because there's no shortcut to hard work. But here's the problem. We've built a society that hands out excuses like candy. It's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay that you're not willing to help yourself. It's not okay to settle for less than you're capable of. It's not okay to keep lying to yourself. You don't need a fucking participation trophy. You need discipline. You need to take ownership of your shit. When I lived on Paradise Road in Buffalo, New York, it was anything but paradise. I got my ass beat every damn day in that house. And I'm not ashamed of it. That's where I came from. That's the shit that built me. You've got to be willing to go back there to the dark places in your life and face them head on. That's how you grow. Every morning I let the demon out. That voice in my head that says you've done enough gets told to shut the fuck up. Oh, you did 10 miles today. Great, do one more. Somewhere out there, there's a guy running 12, 13, 14 miles. You don't even know him, but one day you might meet him. And when you do, you better not have to get ready. You better already be ready. That's my mindset every single day. No days off. None. Because every day you're either gaining confidence or losing it. There's no middle ground. If you look in the mirror in the morning and don't like what you see, that's on you. Fix it. Don't cry about it. Fix it. For me, it all starts with movement. Get your ass up. Shed some calories. Get your mind firing on all cylinders. Every day I run. Every day I work out. And let me tell you something. There's no finish line. People love to say I'll stop when I'm tired. Not me. I stop when I'm done. Lately, I've been grinding harder than ever. Running over 20 miles a day, eating right, going to bed, early, waking up early. It's a relentless grind. But this week, it hit me. That little bitch voice started creeping in. Oh, Goggins, you're tired. Push the run back an hour. I wasn't having it. I grabbed my phone hit record and taped that voice. You know what I heard? Weakness, excuses, bullshit. The book's been out for a little over a week now, and yeah, it's the #1 most sold book on Amazon. That's badass, and I appreciate every single one of you for the support. But let me be clear, that number, that ranking, that's not what gets me hyped. What gets me fired up are the emails I've been getting. Messages from you motherfuckers telling me how you're changing your lives, setting new goals, leveling the fuck up, getting off your ass, and stopping with the woe is me bullshit. That's what it's about. Look, the world isn't going to hand you shit. There's no magical handout coming your way. You've got to earn every damn thing. And let me tell you something about wolves. Most of them travel in packs. They stick together and move as a unit. But sometimes even the wolves in that pack won't understand who the fuck you are or what you're trying to do. That's when you've got to break off and travel alone. You've got to be the lone wolf, the one who's not afraid to stand out and go against the grain. Being uncommon amongst the uncommon, that's the standard. That's where you need to be. And it's lonely as hell. I know that. Growing up, it was just me and my mom. And she was struggling, man. She was drunk half the time. So it was really just me. When you're waking up every morning, dragging yourself out of bed and grinding alone, that's the hidden work no one sees. People see the highlight reel. A quick clip of me running or fighters in the ring knocking people out. What they don't see is the internal war. That voice in your head saying you're not good enough, you don't belong here. That shit doesn't go away. Even when you've reached the top, it's still there whispering, trying to pull you down. Every single day you've got to fight that voice. It's a battle you never truly win. Even when you've silenced it for a moment, it comes back. And most of the time, you're fighting it alone. Sure, you might have a shrink, a friend, or a teammate, but when it's just you and your thoughts, you're in the ring one-on-one with your own mind. And if you can't control your brain, you're done. Game over. You've got to be the one calling the shots. Tell your brain where you're going, how you're getting there, and what it's going to take. If you let your brain control you, it'll lead you straight into the comfort zone, into weakness, into failure. Life's a journey, and it's yours to live. I'm on mine, and I'm chasing something bigger than this temporary existence. I want to leave this life knowing I didn't waste a second, that I squeezed every last drop out of it. When my body's gone, my spirit's still going to be here, strong as hell, proud as hell. That's the legacy I'm building. Every single day is a chance to step up, to silence the doubt, to control your mind, and to fucking go to war with yourself. And if you keep taking the easy way out, you'll never trust your own mind. You'll never know what the fuck you're capable of. I was that guy, just getting by, blending in a damn chameleon, hiding from life. I know what it's like to live that lie. But let me tell you, that kind of mindset isn't for the 1%ers. It's not for the people who want this shit so bad, they give their last breath for it. Everything I didn't want to do, every painful, ugly, soul-crushing thing is exactly what got me to where I am today. It wasn't about motivation or some cute mantra. It was about putting in the damn work. Every time I got knocked down, mentally, physically, spiritually, I kept saying to myself, you can't hurt me. That became my shield, my mantra, my fucking sword. But don't think for a second that voice in my head wasn't there. That haunting voice that tells you you're not good enough, you're a fraud. That voice lived in my head rent-free for years, and no matter how hard I tried to ignore it, it was always there. Deep down, I knew I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. I knew it. But I was scared. Scared of the work because I wasn't born with talent. I wasn't gifted athletically, wasn't born a genius. I was just an average motherfucker. And to even have a chance at greatness, I had to outwork everyone. That realization, it fucking haunted me. And like most people, I craved comfort. I wanted the pats on the back, the fake ass encouragement, the lies we tell ourselves to stay in that safe little bubble. But that comfort kept me weak. It kept me in a world of mediocrity, of not accomplishing a damn thing. So I flipped the script. I became my own worst nightmare. I became the harshest critic you could imagine. No more excuses, no more blaming my dad, my past, or my broken foundation. I looked in the mirror and faced the brutal truth. This is your life. Own it, motherfucker. 99.9% of what I've achieved, that shit was done alone. Alone in the cold, alone in the heat, alone in the pool, damn near drowning because I couldn't swim. Alone in a room teaching myself how to read, how to write, how to think. No cameras, no audience, no cheering squad. Just me versus me. And you know what? That's what I'm proud of. Not the accolades, not the recognition, but the work I put in when no one was watching. Because when you're 75 miles deep in a 150-mile race and your body's broken and your mind's screaming quit, ain't nobody coming to save you. It's just you and that dark fucking place in your head. I stayed in that place for 30 damn years, clawing my way out piece by piece. And you know what I've learned? You don't find peace by running from the fight. You find peace by going to fucking war with yourself. At the end of that war, when you're bruised, scarred, and beaten to hell, you'll finally sit back, maybe with a beer, maybe with a glass of water, and you'll understand. You'll understand that all the pain, all the suffering, all the fucking work, it was worth it. That's when you'll find your peace. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to pat you on the back and tell you it's okay. It's not okay. You've got to stand up, face who you are, and own every inch of it. That's the only way out. Listen, man, this shit wasn't no part-time hustle. This was my fucking life. You think Kobe Bryant just walked off that court with 60 points and thought, cool, I'm done? Nah, man. That man gave everything to the game, and when he left, he felt it. You feel it when you've poured your soul into something. That's me, man. I've given everything. People see me running with taped up knees, taped up feet, 2 fucking heart surgeries, still grinding. Why? Because that's who the fuck I am. You want toughness. Everyone talks about wanting to be tough, but they're looking for it sitting on a fucking couch. Toughness doesn't live in comfort. Toughness is found in the grind and the pain and the yes no one wants to do. My mom says you've done enough, you can rest now. Fuck that. As long as my legs work even halfway, I'm running. The day they stop. Fine. Until then, I don't need an excuse to stop, and you sure as hell can't give me one. People don't get it. They look at me and say, that's crazy, that's masochistic. Fuck your labels. I'm not here for you to understand me. I know what I'm doing and I'm doing it for me. My mind is a fucking machine, but like any machine, it needs maintenance. Your mind is like a garage. If it's cluttered with junk, excuses, distractions, bullshit, you can't fit anything in there. But when you organize that garage, clear out the garbage, now there's space. You can park 2 cars, a bike, whatever the fuck you need. Same with discipline. You want discipline. You want growth. You can't have it if your mind is full of shit. The problem with people today, they're addicted to comfort. The second life gets hard, they fold. Why? Because their whole fucking life is set up to avoid resistance. There's no room for consistency, no space for discipline. Their mind's like a blown circuit breaker. Overloaded, can't handle shit. You got to clear that mental garage. Make space for the hard stuff. Waking up early, running when it sucks, that's how you get there. But most people never go deep enough. They live on the surface relying on talent. Talent's a curse, man. Talent makes people soft because they've never had to dig past it. Coaches struggle with this. They try to push talented fighters past their natural gifts, but most of them can't do it. Why? Because they've never been to the deep end. The deep end is where the magic happens. That's where you break past talent and find something real. The deep end is where I fucking live. You drop me in there, I'm not coming up for air, I'm thriving. But here's the thing. The moment you quit, you're done. Your mind closes the door and says, we're finished. And you never grow past that point. When you're sitting there thinking this sucks, I'm drowning. I'm broken. I'm fucking miserable. But I'm not quitting. Your mind starts to shift. It's like your brain finally realizes this crazy motherfucker ain't going anywhere, so we better figure this shit out. That's when the magic happens. Your brain starts pulling from places you didn't even know existed. You're pushing it to a level it's never been to before. And once you do that, it changes. It adapts. But here's the thing. When your talent runs out, most people quit. Why do I always fail right here? They hit that wall because they've been relying on talent. And when that talent is gone, their mind's got nothing left. Me, I ask myself, who the fuck would still be going right now? That's when I decided I want to be the hardest motherfucker on the planet. Is it true? Who gives a shit? It got me to the finish line. I believed it then and I believe it now. I go dark. I put the phone down, shut out the world and dive into myself. Why? Because I'm on a mission. I'm not here to just exist. I'm here to find out who the fuck I really am. This life, it's all temporary. But I want to be so fucking proud of who I was when it's over. I want to look back at my life and say, hell yeah, I left it all out there. No regrets. No excuses. I want to bury the insecure, lying version of myself and become the man I know I can be. But that means getting real. It's okay to say I'm fucked up. I'm unhappy. That's the truth and you have to face it. Who are you really? Strip away the bullshit. Be brutally honest with yourself. It's uncomfortable as hell, but you have to go into those dark places, the places you've been avoiding. You've got to sit down with your demons and say, what the fuck is up? Let's go. It might take months. It might take years. But you have to figure it out. You have to silence the world and go to war with yourself. This world is noisy as fuck and every distraction out there is pulling you further from who you are. Shut it all down, go dark. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be stuck. But don't stay stuck. Face it, fight it. And remember, yeah, we might not all be LeBron James, but we've got a hell of a lot more in us than we think. It's not about talent. It's about heart, guts, and pure fucking willpower. Don't let yourself off easy. The world is soft. Oh, you're tired. Take a day off. Eat some pizza. Watch the game, fuck that. That's why people hate me, because I don't let myself off the hook. And if I'm hard on me, you better believe I don't give a fuck what you think. This is about digging deep, going dark, and finding out what you're really made of. You're way tougher than you think, but you've got to prove it to yourself every single fucking day. Man, I don't waste time. Everyone loves to talk about how they don't have enough time. That's complete bullshit. You've got the time, you just don't prioritize what actually matters. Stay hard.